Are you ready to hear the truth? Here's the plan for this video. I'm going to give you 5 simple pieces of advice along with principles you can apply. But be warned, they're brutally honest, so make sure you're ready. But listen up, I'm rich, I'm a multimillionaire, and I got here by helping others become millionaires too. By watching my videos, you could be my next success story. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment below. I'll be replying to everyone. So let's dive in. First, you don't deserve the things you think you deserve. Right now, there is a graph on the screen. The first line is your income, and the second line is your money. And there's a third line, that's our ego. But there's something even more dangerous, the I deserve line. But hear me out. The I deserve mentality will ruin your life. Here's the hard truth that your parents, your girlfriend, your friends, no one wants to tell you. You don't deserve more until you've put in the work. Money doesn't care about your feelings, and the market certainly doesn't reward entitlement. It rewards discipline, knowledge, and value. So here's the first brutally honest piece of advice. Get rid of the I deserve mindset. You shouldn't be thinking, oh, I don't deserve this money, but I deserve a channel bag or a new iPhone. If you don't have the money, you don't deserve it. Replace it with I earn. You earn what you work for, what you sacrifice for, and what you build. Let me show you why with some math. Imagine you earn 5K a month, but your I deserve mentality leads you to spend an extra 2K each month on things you can't really afford. Over a year, there's 24K gone. Now, if you saved and invested that 2K each month instead, by the end of the year, you'd have 24K working for you. With a basic 8% return, you'd make almost 2K just from your investments. So instead of wasting money on stuff you think you deserve, you could be growing your wealth and letting your money work for you. That's the difference. Ego spends, discipline builds wealth. And yeah, but I know it must be really hard to change this mentality. There are 2 things you can do. The first is make savings automatic so it's not a decision you can easily avoid. Take that 2K a month you are overspending and set up an automatic transfer to an investment account. The second is allow yourself to indulge, but only after you've earned it. Set financial or personal goals, and when you hit them, use a portion of the gains to treat yourself. This replaces I deserve with I earn this. This approach is smart because investing and saving shouldn't feel like torture. It should be something cool in your mind. Treating yourself after achieving goals is a good way to make it rewarding. Second, living on passive income without knowledge is an illusion. Let me explain. Imagine your investment portfolio is like a bucket. Every month, you take the money into your account and put it in the bucket. But this bucket has holes. It's impossible to live off your income without gradually depleting your assets over time. At least a little, if you stop making contributions. This means money escapes like water through these holes. One of these holes is inflation, another is taxes, and another is your expenses. One hole you can't fully cover is inflation, because inflation will always take away the value of your money in the long run. And even if you beat inflation by investing, it will still reduce your returns. The taxes hole can be partially covered because there are legal ways to reduce your tax burden. Rich people do this all the time. I have a video about it. Actually, I'll put a card on the screen. The expenses hole, however, you can totally cover. There are only 2 ways to reduce your expenses: earn more and spend less. For both options, you need knowledge. To earn more, you need to study and improve your skills to stand out in the market or start your own business. And you need to learn a lot to make it work. To spend less, you also need knowledge to manage your finances and make smart decisions. In my opinion, though, the best option is to earn more. At the end of the video, you will understand why, so stick with me. Third, your partner is the biggest financial decision of your life. Think of a couple, Bo and Jessica. Bo and Jessica each earn 5K a month. They each spend $4,200 every month. This leaves them with $800 each to invest. If they invest this money, they will each have 160K at the end of 10 years. Now imagine they decide to unite and live together, sharing basic expenses like rent, energy, and water. This allows them to save an additional $400 each, which they also decide to invest. At the end of the same 10 years, together they will have something around $420K. One of the benefits of marriage is becoming wealthier. Now, 20 years later, the difference is even more significant. Alone, they would have $575K, but together, as a couple, they would have $1.7 million. A millionaire couple. And more important than this is the fact that the cost of a bad marriage can be 50% of your wealth. Of course, this applies if you don't have a prenup. But even if you do, and even if you don't literally lose 50% of your wealth, studies show that divorce increases poverty disparities. Additionally, divorce can also affect investors and fund managers. Investor Paul Tudor Jones said in 2013 exactly this: "If I find out that a manager is going through a divorce, I redeem immediately." You can automatically subtract 10 to 20% from any manager if they're going through a divorce. This quote is from a study that explores the link between divorce and investment returns. But how can you have a financially aligned marriage? Before continuing, I want to mention that I am married. I don't want to give you advice without first proving that I practice what I preach. For me, showing I'm capable means showing that I apply these principles in my life. My wife is also an entrepreneur, and together we're a true power couple. She enriches my life in every way. To have a financially aligned relationship like ours and build wealth with your partner, you need a few pillars. First, don't hide anything, not a single cent. Second, when you decide to marry, there are no individual dreams. All dreams become shared dreams. Third, talk about money. Why do you talk about money with your friends but not with your partner? Fourth, trust. To sustain these principles, you will need trust. Fifth, plan together. Start planning, studying, and thinking together. It becomes easier when you have someone to help and plan with you. And also, don't forget to send this video to your partner, okay? Show them that they are an important part of your financial journey. Fourth, educate your legacy before it's too late. I'm sure that at least 70% of you have watched Succession. If you haven't, let me explain. It's about a multi-billionaire in the communication sector and his children. His children are a bit spoiled even as adults, and they constantly fight for control of the company. But none of them are truly capable of leading it. I really don't want that to happen to me, and I know you don't either. In the US, there are 24.2 million family-owned businesses, accounting for 64% of the GDP. However, despite their significant impact, 70% of these businesses face challenges by the second generation, either failing or being sold. Imagine being in that situation, like the Roy family in Succession. You're older, having spent your life building a successful company, but you can never truly retire because your children aren't prepared or able to take over. Only 30% of family-owned businesses make it through the second generation, and even fewer survive into the third. Here's my advice: take time to educate your legacy. To break the second generation curse, you need to follow 3 key steps. First, transfer your principles. It's essential to pass on not just your wealth, but your values and guiding principles that helped you succeed. Your children need to understand the mindset behind the business, not just the mechanics. Second, transform your children into disciples. Don't just teach them from a distance. Mentor them closely. Be involved in shaping their character and leadership skills. They should be involved in decision-making early on to build experience and confidence. And third, don't create heirs. Create partners. If you only create heirs, they will expect to inherit without effort. Instead, foster a sense of ownership and responsibility, where they see themselves as partners in the business, working alongside you and earning their place. Maybe you sell your business before the second generation, and maybe your children want to change direction, but the wealth mentality will remain in your legacy forever, and money can't buy that. Fifth, your game is what you can control. There's a magic formula, and it shows how your money can grow exponentially over time. It's basically this: the FE equals future value. It's the total amount after all payments and interests. The PMT is the regular payment or contribution amount. The I equals the interest rate per period, expressed as a decimal, so 5% would be 0.05. N is the number of periods. Basically, this formula involves 3 key variables: interest, time, and contribution. The interest rate is something you can't fully control, as there's a limit to how much you can earn, even for the greatest investors like Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, and Charlie Munger, who don't achieve the same interest every year. Time is also beyond your control because life is unpredictable. You might face illness or other unforeseen circumstances, but a contribution is something you can control. In fact, the wealthiest people I know consistently make large contributions comes to their investments. So the advice here is focus on making money because your game is what you can control. Focus on making money to increase your contributions, and I'll show you another reason why. At the beginning, contributions, not interest, determine the size of your assets. So even if you're a great investor, the best way to grow your wealth through investments is by contributing more money to your portfolio. Let's do some math. If you invest $500 every month with a 10% annual interest rate, in the first year, your portfolio consists of 95% contributions and 5% interest. In the fifth year, it's 78% contributions and 24% interest. In the ninth year, it's 59% and 41%. And in the 30th year, it's 51% and 49%. It takes 13 years for the interest to equal the contributions. Now here's my point. In 5 years, if you invest $500 every month at a 10% annual interest rate, you have around $39K. If you invest the same $500 but at a 12% annual interest rate, you have $41K. But if you invest $800 at a 12% annual interest rate, you have $62,000. In 10 years, the numbers look like this. It's 101, 112, and 162K. In 20 years, the difference grows, and in 30 years, it's 1.5 million and 1.6 million. Large contributions always win. Okay, and there's two ways to earn more. You can become a businessman because the richest men alive are businessmen. That's the obvious path. When you have a company, your earnings are infinite. You can always do more. I'm a businessman. I got rich this way, and I can make a video just about it. Just comment below if you are interested. But maybe you don't like risk. You don't want to start a business, and this is not for you. But there is a second way. Studying and trying to earn more, working for someone. And if you choose this path, I have to teach you something very important. Before becoming a financial advisor, before becoming a rich cousin, and before founding my business, I was once an intern and an employee at a few companies. In those companies, I watched as the employees who had been there for 5, 10, and even 30 years weren't growing or getting wealthier. I definitely didn't want that. I wanted to get rich. But if I stayed in those companies, I would have the same future as most of the people who worked there. From early on, I learned a simple principle. It's really hard to grow if you're only looking inward. You need to be shaped by your environment. So don't stay too long working for a company that won't give you the life prospects you want or honor your hard work and effort. But if you choose to stay at a company, always commit to giving your best and showing that you are valuable. If you're in the right place, you will be rewarded. And well, that's it, cousins. And if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content. Thanks for watching me. See you next time.